So I've just taken the brisket out of the fridge and put it into the sink. And this is it here. This is the 11th day, so it's been curing for 11 days. And the next step is to rinse off the spice and cure mix and soak the brisket for 30 minutes at a time. Drain out the water, fill it back up, soak it for another 3 minutes. Do this for a total of 3 hours. The purpose of that is to remove the saltiness. And the best part is this is the stage where you can actually taste it if you want. It might take less than 3 hours. It might take more. You can cut off a piece, fry it up, and taste it. And if it's still too salty, do it for longer. The size of the sink or the vessel that you're doing this is important. Use the biggest one you can. I would like a bigger sink, but this is the biggest I have available. And if you had a bigger farm sink or something like that, that would be perfect. Basically, the more water you get sucking that salt out, the better it's going to be, and you get it to the point where you're happy with it. The saltiness is the level you like, and you go from there. There's no perfect science to this, I don't think. But I'm going to do the 3 hours, and then I'll cut off a piece and try it. And after that, we're going to rub it with coriander seed and black pepper. It'll wrap it up in saran wrap. It'll sit overnight, and then tomorrow we're ready to start smoking. Here's what the brisket looks like after I've rinsed off the cure. You can see it's a nice dark red, almost reddish brown. That's from the curing agent. I rinsed it off pretty thoroughly. I also wanted to mention I washed the sink before I did this. I think that's probably common sense, but just in case. So there you go. I'm going to start soaking it for half an hour at a time for a total of 3 hours. And it'll get rubbed again and put back in the sink. I mean the fridge. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see this. Even though I rinsed it off what I would consider very thoroughly, as the sink is filling up, you can see right away it's pulling some of the spice and nitrate mixture out of the beef. I just thought that was fascinating. It started working very quickly. The water started turning kind of a darker color. Up until now, I never thought that I'd have to think about osmosis after grade 10 science, but here it is in action. Osmosis, pulling the salt and the cure out of the beef. Okay, so the meat is rinsed for 3 hours, draining the sink every half an hour. That's 6 times for you math whizzes out there. Now I'm just going to cut a little piece off this end here and warm it up in a little frying pan and see how salty it is and if it needs any more rinsing. I almost forgot to show you what it looks like with the 2-to-1 mixture of cracked black pepper and cracked coriander seed rubbed on. Just it's kind of loosely wrapped right now. I'm gonna wrap it tight and stick it in the fridge overnight. And then tomorrow is the big day. 9 hours in the big green egg. 4 of those hours smoking, 5 hours just cooking low and slow, wrapped in foil, and then one more night in the fridge before being steamed for 3 hours and finally eaten. It really hasn't been that much work. It's just a long process. So looking forward to tasting it. The little piece I cut off and fried up was not too salty at all. It was very tough. This is brisket, so it wasn't a nice tender piece of meat, but the flavor was incredible. I'm really looking forward to how this turns out and going from there. So yeah, it's going to be in the fridge overnight, and we'll see you tomorrow when it's. So I've just lit the barbecue. Just wanted to show you how I've got a good amount of maple chunks spread around. I've actually got a couple layers, so there's a little bit of charcoal, then I sprinkled some maple, then I put some more charcoal, then I sprinkled some more maple. We're smoking for 4 hours, then cooking for 5 more, So you want to make sure you have lots of charcoal and lots of wood chunks in there. Now I'm going to put the plate setter in, put the grate on, and then put the meat on, and that's it. I'll show you when she's coming off, and all that's left is tomorrow we will steam it and eat it. This is what the Montreal smoked meat looks like, and you know, I've heard that the heat actually comes from the back of the egg and over, so you want to put the thicker part near the back. I don't know if you can even see that while the smoke is coming out, but there she is. So 4 hours of smoking, wrap her in foil, cook for 5 more hours, and after smoking for 4 hours, this is what she looks like. You can see it started to sweat already. A lot more drippings than I would have thought. I was actually thinking I probably didn't need a drip pan, but that might have been a good idea. So now let's wrap her up and cook for 5 more hours. Okay, so here it is after the second cooking in foil. I don't know if you can hear that. I can hear the juices kind of bubbling out. It smells incredible. It's amazing. I'm really happy that I have the Readycure and I was able to be monitoring it, because I don't know if this brisket is just thinner than others, like on the forums that I've seen, or what, but it cooked a lot faster than expected. So after smoking it for 4 hours, it was only on for another 2 hours maybe, wrapped in foil, and it hit 185 degrees, which is right around where everybody was saying take it off, because after it cools overnight, I'm going to steam it for another 2 or 3 hours or so. I'm also going to be using a thermometer when doing that, though, because I don't want it to get overcooked. I don't want it to be crumbly. You know, you still want that nice tender meat, that's sliceable. I'm not really worried about moisture, but especially with the steaming. But oh, I wish you could smell this. It's incredible. I'm very excited. I can't wait for tomorrow, and then again for leftovers on Sunday, which happens to be Super Bowl Sunday. So I'm doubtful there will be any left following that, but there you go. So this is my first Montreal smoked meat, fresh off the big green egg, and I can't wait for dinner. So here I am getting ready to steam the smoked meat. You can see just a foil turkey pan or barbecue pan that I got at the dollar store. I could have used the grill for my big green egg, but I thought that these cooling racks would work a little better. It seems to fit perfectly. And then I've got another foil pan that will go right on top like that. The oven is just preheating to 250 degrees, and then in the oven for about 3 hours, although I think it's probably going to take a lot less than that based on how the smoking and cooking time went. But I've got it hooked up to a little thermometer so I can monitor it. I don't want it to go past 180, maybe 190 at the most. I don't want the meat to get overdone. So that's it. Next step will be slice it, put on some bread, and eat it. Okay, and here's the culmination of all that work. Beautiful, delicious smoked meat. Montreal smoked meat. So I'm going to put the camera down, and I'm going to eat it. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and you'll give it a shot yourself. Enjoy.